Go. Hi. Quite a few of you have written me emails asking about my music. I record all the music myself for all my videos. Kind of easier that way because I don't have to call anyone. I can just use myself, and that makes production quite a bit quicker, especially when I do smaller productions. But one thing I'd really like to show you and talk about today is this guitar. This guitar has quite a story, and that's why I think it's interesting. Originally, I worked for a company called M Electronic. The reason why it's not called M Electronics is because it's a Danish company, and for some reason the S didn't comply like TC Electronic. So it was M Electronic. We made effect pedals for mainly guitars, but it spread out to all sorts of instruments. It was quite a fun job. And that company had a music store in connection, direct connection with it. And one day a guy came in, wanted to trade his Mexico Strat for Joe Satriani guitar. It was actually this one, and it didn't have any value of sorts. The owner of the store just sort of handed it to me so I could just hold on to it while the deal was taking place. So I started playing a bit with it just acoustically, and I felt there was a lot of vibration in the guitar. It really spoke to me. I could really feel every note ringing in the whole guitar. At the moment I sat with that guitar, I felt that I have to get this guitar. It ended up that the owner of the store just gave it to me, so you can just keep it. I was like, wow. I have great guitars, and I have special purpose-built guitars, all kinds that are made especially for me, but I fell in love with this guitar. I never really owned a Fender Stratocaster before. I always put them together myself of parts. And so this was actually my first real Fender Stratocaster. It only had a slight problem. The slight problem was that the neck didn't feel good to play on, but it sounded really nice. It had a thick sound to it, and there was a lot of dynamics. So the first thing I did was just to take out all the pickups and put in some new ones. And that was pretty much it. And then I played it for years, actually. I loved that guitar, and I talked a lot about it, and people were sort of excited because when they heard it, they thought it sounded nice. But when they played it, they didn't like the neck. When I moved to Copenhagen, much later than this job, I realized that the neck needed attention. So I ended up calling Fender in Denmark and asked them if they had a replacement neck I could buy. And they gave me a really good deal on this modern compound neck. It doesn't have the same radius all the way down, but it sort of flattens out, make it more playable. It did take away some of the original quality of the sound, but gave it something else, and that was total playability, and this neck is just fantastic. Other thing I did is, I'm a great fan of Jeff Beck. I noticed that he had a roller nut instead of a clamp, and that makes it much easier just to tune it. And I also bought some original Fender locking tuners that are staggered, so I don't need this little clamp that sits here to hold down the E and B strings. It's probably some third party that they just put the name on, but it works pretty well. Other thing I did was I bought a black pickup plate, and the reason I did that was I started playing guitar because I heard Eddie Van Halen on the 1978 album, and I was totally blown away. He had stripes on it, but basically it was a guitar like this. Alan Holdsworth was another guitar player that I still think he's just the most amazing guitar player in the world. J.G. Lee from Ozzy Osbourne, same color scheme, although he and Alan Holdsworth had an ebony neck instead. So to get that look from my heroes, I made this black instead and put on black knobs. I changed all the electronics, shielded it as good as I could, and also these 3 pickups actually stay the same as I think it's DiMarzio Area 61 or 62. I'm not completely sure what they are, but they sound pretty good. And then a DiMarzio chopper in the back that has a bit more rock and roll to it, like. I also changed the whole tremolo system because the old one was stock Mexico and it was really cheap. So I bought one that was more vintage-like and better quality. And I changed all the saddles with some saddle that promised to have better quality. I don't know. I think I can tell a difference, I hope. I also changed the springs in the back with some who has less attention than the modern ones. They're much more even, so I could put in all the springs and still have a great. The cool thing about this system is that it looks pretty much vintage, but it performs much better. Only problem I have with this one is that the arm is too loose. And honestly, I don't know what to do about it. I have to figure out something. And the rattling is annoying because it takes away some vibration when I hit certain notes. So this is my main weapon when I record all my stuff for my videos. I will sit down with the video and just play through it, trying to figure out something that will work for the video. And then I put everything else around it, like keyboards and drums and whatever it needs. So this is my weapon. Now you just heard me play a bit of rock sounds, but usually you hear me play some more cosmic stuff. I'll just change the sound and you can check out what happens when I do that. I'm sorry if I don't look straight into the camera. I get distracted because I have this display on the side. And I have to get used to where to look. So I'm sorry if I seem a bit distracted, but yeah, it's you. Let me play some of the sounds that I usually play on my videos. It's more cosmic like this. My guitar goes straight into a Kemper profiling amp, which is sort of a digital thing that tries to emulate real amplifiers. I'm really happy about it. I profiled my old amps and I can record in the middle of the night. And usually I do it in the middle of the night because it's so quiet. So I can sit with headphones on and disturb no one. And in the middle of the night I just record whatever comes to mind, whether I sit completely in peace and quiet and check out what works for the film or the video, and that's pretty much how I do it. So yes, this is my baby. I didn't pay anything for the guitar. The only thing that is left is the body. I got the pickups really cheap because at the time I worked at a music store, so I got some good deals. Fender was really nice to me and gave me this neck real cheap as well. The rest I just bought online because it's hard to find a store that has all this stuff. So I just went online and collected the whole thing, and yeah, I just went to work when I received all the parts. So this is it. This is my whole center. This is where my music comes from. This is this baby. I think I paid about 300 euros in all for everything on this guitar through time. That is not a lot of money for a really great Fender Stratocaster put together by original parts. So thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. I hope this might be an opportunity for you also to maybe toy with doing some music for your own videos. There's a lot of problems when you have to buy music or get some royalty-free stuff. Sometimes you run into that your videos get blocked anyhow because some samples are not cleared. It's really great fun. I've had so much pleasure of making music for many years, and making music for video is a great joy. Unfortunately, I haven't made an album that has the music. It is made especially for the videos. It will take up a lot of time to transform it to a format that works while you listen to the music itself. But I'm working on a project with the most amazing female vocalist. She's just fantastic, and I hope that maybe it's summer, maybe before, we can make our first music video. Let's see. I hope it'll work. It's a bit secret, not so much, but we're making music. I'm really happy about it. So, Fender Stratocaster, totally custom built for my needs. Only need to figure out the rattling of this, how I fix this. If you have any ideas, please write it down below, how to remove the rattle, and then I'll say, goodbye, man. See you later. I'll see you later.